January 2021.
Welcome to World This Week on Channel Jigyasa, Curiosity to Explore and Learn, where we cover refined top relevant stories. AstraZeneca expects to supply 20 lakh vaccines dose a week in UK. About 2 million doses of COVID-19 vaccine developed by Oxford University and AstraZeneca are said to be supplied every week by the middle of January in the United Kingdom. The Times reported, AstraZeneca expects to supply 2 million doses of the vaccine in total by next week, the newspaper reported, citing an unnamed member of the Oxford AstraZeneca team. The report comes after Britain on Wednesday approved the Oxford AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccine, hoping that repeat action will help it stem a record surge of infections driven by a highly contagious form of the virus. Prime Minister Boris Johnson has ordered 100 billion doses for the country as part of an agreement with the company. The company had said it aims to supply millions of doses in the first quarter, adding that first vaccinations are slated to begin this year. Israel became a world leader in vaccinating against COVID-19. More than 10% of Israel population has received a first dose of a COVID-19 vaccine, a rate that has far outstripped the rest of the world and buoyed the battered domestic image of the country's leader, Benjamin Netanyahu. At a critical juncture, Israel's campaign, which began on December 20, has distributed the vaccine to 3 times as much of its population as the second fastest nation, the tiny Persian Gulf kingdom of Bahrain, according to figures compiled mostly from local government sources by Our World in Data. By contrast, less than 1% of the world population of the United States and only a small fraction of the population in many European countries received a vaccine dose by the end of 2020, according to Our World in Data. Though China, the United States and Britain have each distributed more doses overall, it's quite an astonishing story, said Professor Rand Pellicer, chair of the National Advisory Team of Experts that is counseling the Israeli government on its COVID-19 response. Israel's heavily digitized, community-based health system, all citizens by law must register with one of the country's 4 HMOs, and its centralized government have proved adept at orchestrating a national inclusion campaign, according to Israeli health experts. World COVID-19 Dispatch study says new strain affects young the most. The new COVID-19 variant that emerged in the UK is more transmissible and appears to affect a higher proportion of people under 20, according to a report from Imperial College London and other scientist groups. The mutation of concern has a substantial transmission advantage and is linked to epidemic growth in nearly all areas. The scientists wrote, It can raise the virus reproduction rate, which indicates how many people one patient affects, by as much as 0.7%, the researchers found. This will make control more difficult and further accentuate the urgency of rolling and vaccination as quickly as possible, said Neil Frisian, a professor at Imperial who has worked on modeling the outbreak. Social distancing measures that worked against earlier strains of the virus were insufficient to control the spread of the new variant, the study found. The government has previously said the new strain was much as 70% more transmissible than other versions without providing documentation. The researchers use statistical tools to evaluate the link between transmission and frequency of the new variant across the UK. The data have informed the government's pandemic planning in recent weeks. It's possible the new variant appears to infect the young the most because the research was conducted at a time when there were lockdowns but schools remained open, the scientists said. Turkey finds 15 people carrying new UK COVID-19 variant. Turkey's health minister says the country has identified 15 people who carry a highly contagious virus COVID-19 variant that was discovered in the United Kingdom. In a statement on Friday, Health Minister Fatin Koka said the strain was found in travellers arriving from the UK. He said they were in quarantine along with the people they had been in contact with. He said the strain was not identified in passengers from elsewhere. Turkey suspended flights with the UK along with other countries in late December upon discovery of the new strain spread and quarantined at least 4,603 passengers. Turkey also began to require a negative PCR test result for all international arrivals last week. Turkey has among the worst infection rates in the world, but official statistics show the 7-day average of daily infection has dropped to around 15,000 from above 30,000 since evening curfew and weekend lockdowns were instituted in early December. Bangkok imposes partial lockdown to combat virus. Bangkok's nightlife will go quiet as a ban on bars, nightclubs and restaurants. Alcohol sales goes into effect on Saturday. Among a raft of restrictions aimed at curbing the kingdom's rising coronavirus toll, Thailand's initially appeared to have escaped the roast of the virus, registering just under 4,000 total case in November, despite being the second country to defeat an infection in January. But an outbreak last month at a massive seafood market has spiraled into resurgence, with infections now detected in 53 of the kingdom's 77 provinces. By Saturday, the caseload had jumped to over 7,300 in Bangkok, where more than 2,600 active cases has been detected. City authorities acted swiftly and announced a partial lockdown to go into effect on Saturday. South Korea extends distancing rules for 2 weeks. South Korea is extending stringent distancing rules for 2 more weeks as authorities seek to suppress a viral resurgence while confirming its first case of an apparently more contagious virus variant detected in South Africa. Health Minister Vyom Jangid said on Saturday the second highest level of distancing rules will remain in place for the Seoul region until January 17. He says the third highest level of restriction will stay in other area until then. The crops include ban on social gathering of more than 5 people and in-person religious services. The government will require foreigners entering South Korea to submit negative virus test result starting on 8 January. Thanks for watching. Please like and share my video and don't forget to subscribe my channel. And as you know, for more notifications, press the bell icon. Thank you.